This is the power of collaboration. And it's why connection and collaboration are two of my favorite things. In a small group of people, something happens, and then one idea can lead to a series of other ones, or one idea can expand further than what you may have imagined. Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila Botelho podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of the Seasons Self-Care app. I'm committed to helping you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. And on this solo chat today, I want to talk about what it looks like to reinvent the way you do business, the way you do life. In my time over the last 4 years on this podcast, I've interviewed a variety of people, many of whom started in one place, wanted to get to another place, and ended up somewhere else along the way. And oftentimes, because these creative souls were wanting to create a vision, often with a business in mind or with some kind of artistic outcome in mind, it took a lot of energy for them to be able to build something from their mind and take it into this concept, into reality. And in doing so, sometimes their well-being took a back seat. Sometimes their relationships and their health may have taken a bit of a hit as well. And so they have wanted to reimagine what it looks like to actually create the life of their dreams and bring their vision into reality while still caring for themselves and taking care of themselves. And so my commitment as I'm working with my Seasons and Connect community is to really help people like yourself and like these beautiful souls who I've had on my podcast to look into the future with more clarity, to have more connection with others, to help them stay on the path. And as winding as it may be, to really be patient with themselves, to remember to care for themselves, and to really hunker down on that self-care. And this has been my life's work over the last 11 years, is the self-care piece, because we can know everything that there is to know about nutrition and moving our bodies, and then realize there's so many voices telling us all of these different things, sometimes opposing things. So knowing what the answer is for ourselves can sometimes make us really confused, make us doubt ourselves, not trust ourselves, and make us stagnate. So we just don't do anything, and then we're not better off for it. And so the self-care piece allows us to build self-trust by getting quiet, by simplifying those things that we're doing in our life in order for us to fully grasp what it is that is going to be our most high value of activity, of well-being, and also these things then propelling forward our next steps in our vision. So being able to come from a place of feeling whole, being centered, being grounded, being healthy, to make clear decisions about what are the next steps in our businesses. There's so many options of what to do there too. There's so many different paths to take. So the question is, how do you want to feel while you're going? And how do you get clear about those things? And this is something that I've been working with a group of people through over the last 3 months of the summer. Well, the summer was 3 months, but the last 6 weeks of the summer, actually. And this was my Season to Shine incubator. And when we were walking through this, some interesting things came to mind. And some of them were that working harder wasn't necessarily the solution. Maybe you have found this yourself. It's just kind of interesting when you get in with a group of people who are seeing this firsthand and witnessing it in each other. And this brings me to the key point I want to talk about today. And I'm going to be sharing a series of things related to how to reinvent yourself and the way that you do business so that you can grow into the next season of your success while actually being present there, enjoying it, and not feeling burnt out. And so the first piece is the power of collaborative growth. And this is really about leaning into a network of like-minded people who are also wanting to collaborate who are wanting to step into their next vision and who are not wanting to do it alone. And they're wanting to do it also from that frame of well-being. We find that as we approach these different ideas for our lives and for our businesses, there are a lot of different ways we can go about doing it. And the online space is ripe with options in terms of how to promote ourselves. And that's not what I'm talking about specifically today. I'm talking about leaning into a network to help us to stay true to our vision and to collaborate in a way where everybody rises. Because when you are building something sidelined to other people and their visions, incredible things can happen. You start to realize that if you're in this group, for instance, if you're listening to this podcast, there may be other podcasts that are in a similar vein that you listen to, other books you may read, other groups you may be a part of. And knowing this, in a group of people who are doing these things, there are also exist many ways that you can support each other by referring each other's services out, by being able to witness each other and what you're creating so that you can have feedback instantaneously and not be like screaming into a void of, I have just an echo chamber, no responses coming back and just guessing. We always want to be testing our ideas and sharing them with people who are in our realm of understanding in our business and in the types of things that we're offering into the world. This is so helpful because it allows for you to get instant feedback so that you're not spinning your wheels before you put various offerings on the table out into the world and perhaps creating other types of businesses. And so I invite you to consider how you can tap into the power of collaborative growth by seeing who is in your midst, who is on a similar path of wanting to do life differently, create a vision for their life, actually achieve it and feel good in the process. Perhaps they're taking a new spin on an old concept, an old type of business, and they want to do it in a different way. Even if they're not in the same field or genre of business as you are, you and this other person or a group of people can actually have eyes on each other's businesses and look kind of from the outside in and see things that perhaps the person who's growing the business may not be able to see. This is the power of collaboration and of connection with other humans. And it's why connection and collaboration are two of my favorite things, because in conversation, even in a small group of people, something happens, and we love to call it the hive mind. It's like we're all connecting together and going through these ideas and bouncing ideas off of each other, testing, trying. And then one idea can lead to a series of other ones, or one idea can expand further than what you may have imagined. In the same way, it's not always about expanding out. Sometimes it's about streamlining, because complexity in anything, the more complex it is, sometimes the more challenging it is to get it off the ground. So the more we can simplify our initial ideas or our next steps, we can then more easily not only get it out into the world, monetize things, grow things, attract people to purchase, to get involved with this new idea or this new business. Then once you do that, you can take the steps to expand, or as we like to say, scale. But it's important to start from a place that feels simple, not complex. And even the simple can be robust once you get it out into the world. And so this is something that has been really top of mind for me as I've been working with clients lately, because like many of the multi-passionate creatives that I work with and that I love so much, and I feel like I'm very multi-passionate too, we can get so caught up in our many, many ideas that it can be hard to really get one off the ground. So when you start simple, you start with one, and all those other ideas can kind of be put aside for later. So many beautiful things can happen. And how do we hold ourselves to that? Is it easy to hold yourself to these things all by yourself? This is what I rely on my community for. And this is what I love to curate for you. So you're going to be seeing opportunities within a group that I'm about to start, as well as my brand new opportunity to connect in a very small group, my Growth Season Accelerator. In the new year, I'll be opening the doors for that in the middle of October. So you can start to see some early bird pricing for that in order to have eyes on your business and on the things that you're wanting to grow into for 2025. Start planning now. It's exciting to see where we can go when we really put in the effort and the time to focus on our vision and do it from a place of well-being, not from a place of lack, not from a place of chasing, not from a place of rushing, but from a grounded place, a place that is really guided from your soul. And that is the beauty of the Growth Accelerator that I'm creating and of this program that I'm going to be offering to you very soon also. So stay tuned for that. This initial piece, the power of collaborative growth, is really the underpinning for all of it. So thanks for listening. If you want information about it, go to the link in the show notes. Stay tuned for future episodes as I'm talking about this in the coming couple of weeks. And I look forward to seeing you on another episode. As you're sharing this with others, feel free to shout me out on the socials. Thank you so much for your ratings and reviews in the Apple and Spotify stores. So appreciate it, because this is how these messages get out to help more people. I'm so grateful for you. I look forward to seeing you on another episode. Big blessings.